Hi, this is Terry Childs with Westwood Global Energy, and this is the RigLogic's weekly recap of the offshore rig review for the week ending December 3rd. First, under trends and indicators in the Mediterranean, the Energy Minister of Cyprus reports that a consortium of ExxonMobil, which will own 60%, and Qatar Petroleum, which will own 40%, has been awarded the exploration rights to Block 5 offshore Cyprus. A formal contract signing is expected within the next week, and this will be the third block operated by ExxonMobil offshore Cyprus, the other two being Block 7 and Block 10. Now, ExxonMobil and also partner Qatar Petroleum have drilled a discovery well previously in Block 10. That was in 2019. That well was a discovery with estimated reserves of 5 to 8 trillion cubic feet of gas, which was the largest discovery ever made offshore Cyprus. A follow-up well for that block is planned later in December using ultra-deepwater drillship Stena Forth. Under potential contracts and tenders in Indonesia, and further to our report of November 24th, market sources advised that only 4 contractors or their representatives attended the pre-bid meeting held by Pertamina Hulu Kalimantan Timur, otherwise known as PHKT, which was held on 25th of November. Bidders have been given an opportunity to submit further clarifications, with it understood that the bid submission date is now December 16th. Other terms and conditions from that tender report are the same as the original tender. The operator has a 1-year program planned for the Makassar Strait area, with a commencement date now said to be in April 2022. Also off Australia, and further to our May 18th report, industry sources have advised that Shell Australia has requested bidders for its Crux development drilling campaign to extend the validity of their proposals until April 2022. The tender closed at the end of June with a validity of 6 months. Bid validity of 6 months was required at that time. Shell's looking for a moored floater for this work, which is scheduled to start in third quarter 2023. The work scope is to drill 5 firm wells, and 2 options are available. The firm portion of the deal is supposed to last around 300 days. Water depth in the area is between 361 to 820 feet, and the Crux gas field is located approximately 118 miles off the Kimberley coast of Western Australia and 385 miles northeast of Broome, located in the Browse Basin. Valaris is rumored to be the front runner for this work. Under new contracts and extensions offshore Brazil, following our September 23rd news item, Seadrill says that it now has finalized contracts for 2 ultra-deepwater drill ships to work for Petrobras in the Búzios pre-salt field offshore Brazil. The contracts fell under what was called Lot A requirement for the operator. The West Carina and West Tellus will begin the charters in September 2022. Both contracts will run for 3 years with another 180 days of options. Under the rig tender, also Petrobras can terminate the contracts after 580 days. The West Carina has been cold stacked in Sri Lanka since January, and it last worked in July 2020. So it's going to have to be reactivated, but it's unclear whether it will remain there for that work, although we believe that it probably will. Meanwhile, the West Tellus is already in Brazil and is currently working for Shell. That contract is scheduled to end around mid-December, but Shell has a 2-well, 150-day option that could keep the rig working into May of next year. Offshore Norway, and following on from our news report in November, it has now been confirmed that Lundin Energy has exercised an option well to use Deep Sea Stavanger, which is owned by Odfjell, to drill a well in the Norwegian NCS. As previously reported, the Norwegian Petroleum Directorate, or the NPD, granted a drilling permit to Lundin for the drilling of the Wildcat 3609, 3606/9-1, which is the Melstein prospect in PL 886. As speculated, the work scope will precede the Equinor contract and is scheduled to commence in January 2022. Depending on the actual commencement and well durations, the rig could stay busy until next August. The rig is currently idle in Norway, having arrived at the CCB yard there in early November after completing a well for Aker BP. Lundin used the rig under its initial term between July and October, drilling in the Lily Princeton and Dover Gubbin fields. Lastly, taking a look at rigs on the move in Southeast Asia. In an earlier than expected move, Transocean ultra-deepwater drill ship Durabi Deepwater KG2 has left its stack location at Johor, Malaysia, and is now headed to Brunei. As reported on the 9th of November, the rig had been scheduled to depart during the first week of December. Upon arrival in Brunei, the rig has a 1 well plus 2 options program for Brunei Shell to undertake. The firm portion of that work should last until around the end of the year, with the 2 options potentially adding another 60 days, taking it out until March 2022. At present, the rig is uncommitted thereafter and will be stacked should it not find additional work by then. And that's it for this week, and we'll be back in early 2022 for the next edition, as we'll be taking the rest of the year off. So everybody have a nice holiday season, and we will see you next year.